Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. Another exciting edition of how not to repair a Western Flyer bicycle. Okay, so yeah, I don't know about the rest of the country, but it is gorgeous here in North Carolina. And everybody's under snow alerts and blizzards, and I'm out here in the shop with my favorite bicycle to work on. Okay, so let's get you the rundown here. Today we're going to put some parts in. So this was damaged pretty bad. It ran, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, that'll work. They lost, like I said earlier, whoever repacked these cranks way back in the day before they brush painted the bicycle with white latex, they lost a washer that looked like this. And it goes on here. This is one of the cones. I don't really like this style because there's only one peg. And there's two here. And for some reason, this style just seems to get messed up a lot. You can put this extra washer, lock washer on there. And then the bolt. And that kind of holds it. But this style, for some reason, that little ridge plus only that one peg just seems to really get messed up. So if I can't use these, I'd really like to use them, but I don't think I can because the races are so bad. Like this race has a crack in it. And this race is a different size outer. It's a little bit different, as you can see right there. And, or actually this was probably the same size at one time, but it rubbed so hard in there from somebody driving it without the cones adjusted and ruining the frame, as you saw in the other videos, me replacing things and welding. So they rode it so long they actually galled into this gear. This was actually probably the same size as that. Or maybe it was different. I'm not sure. It sure did get rubbed down, though. Or somebody replaced it. Anyway, I can't use those. So I'm going to use these new ones. Well, new bearings. And they're newer. But I mic'd them up, and they will pound in pretty good. So on this particular setup, it takes one of these. And I'll show you real quick. It's just a superior setup. So the gear goes on, blah, blah, blah. And then this goes on to that little cut in there. Oh, right, let's just do it for you. So let's just pretend everything's installed on this side. This is left-hand thread. And this little washer goes in there. And catches on that. And then this fatter one, a little extra protection. I always like to put that extra one on if there's room. And then obviously the retaining nut. But sometimes you got to leave this off because you got to reach in there with a screwdriver and adjust the cone. So sometimes you just got to use that, unfortunately. So I like this style better. For some reason, it just seems to hold in better than that other style. Maybe the peg is bigger, I'm not sure. I just like this style better. Of course, these cones, these races aren't as quality as these old ones. And it's a little bit different there. I'm going to have to put a washer behind this. You'll see. Let's get going. Let's get going with this. Let's see here. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, like I said, this was ground pretty bad. This race wore in there so long. It may even have been that other size. But I cleaned that up a little bit and took all the white latex off of this. And just touched that with a grinder a little bit to get the rough stuff off. And sprayed it with some clear coat because we live in North Carolina. And that will have rust will happen. So, okay, so this is the back side. I'll put this in like so. Alright, so we're on there. Now from what I remember, I think we're going to have to use a washer on this one because the spacing is a little bit different. And I'll show you. Here's that. And here's this. So that's a little thicker. And if I just put that on there, it's going to be about a fat 1/16 lower. And that might rub into the new race. So we're going to put this spacer on here. And it's going to be a little thicker out, but that's okay. I think there's plenty of room on this adjustment. But we will see. I might have to go with the old stuff. So we'll put a washer on. I'm going to put a dab of grease on here. Okay, and this is right hand thread. And it's 24 threads per inch. A little bit different than Schwinn, because it's not a Schwinn. Man, having problems finding my little tool I need. Oh, dude. Okay, well for now, trying to find the tool I need. Oh, there's it. Okay, that'll work. Whew. I seem to have lost my little finger tool, but I got this one. It's not really great, but it'll work. Yeah, it'll work. Okay. Now we're going to dry fit this. And the reason we're going to dry fit it in the bike is because I'm not sure about this spacing yet. I'm pretty sure that this will be fine without rubbing on here, you know. That looks good. But what I'm not sure about is once it's in the bike, if there's enough thread to do everything and be all hunky-dory happy in the frame. So I'm not going to put a super tighten on this, and I'm not going to put any grease on it right now. But we will pound some races in. Let's go over here. Now, if you look closely, you can see that this bike was once red. If you look very closely, you can see some red paint in there. But not anymore. Not even close. So yeah, these aren't the right ones, but they do mic up right. They were the right tolerance to go in the frame. And They are not correct. They are not Western Flyer. You know, they're not 30s. But they go in. Okay. Always use a bronze or a brass hammer if you have one on races. Okay, so we got those in. And like I say, we're just going to dry fit this right now because I'm not really sure about what's going on. And I don't want a big gooey mess if I'm taking it back apart. So we're going to dry fit it. If everything seems good, take it back out. I'll put the Super Tighten on this, and then we'll put some real grease in there and adjust it to what I think is correct. Always make sure you put the bearings on right. Okay, so chain side here. Like I say, this might not work. There might be too much thread. It might be too much thread that way. Yeah, you guys might want to see, right? I think you can see. So yeah, I'm putting these in dry, I know. I'm just going to check it out for a minute.